right, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can y'all hear me? We got a new microphone that I'm testing here today, but let me know if you can hear me okay. I might need to turn the gain up a little bit on the mic. Testing. I think it might be all right. Although I'm gonna try to turn it up just a little bit. All right, testing. All right, I turned it up just a little bit. Hopefully that'll be good. If it's too loud, let me know. Again, if it's too loud, let me know. Oh my goodness, here is Booster 10. Let's go full screen for y'all here. All right, so we are in the Rocket Future Jeep right now, and Booster 10, as you can start to see on the left-hand side of the screen, is starting to peak out. That's actually the high bay that we're seeing, but it just left the mega bay just a few minutes ago. And we expect it to pull onto Highway 4 here really in just any minute. And then we are going to follow the booster down the road to the launch complex. I will not be able to read chat while we're driving, but we will have live views of Booster 10 all the way down Highway 4 to the launch complex. And I'll provide commentary and stuff on the way. I just won't be able to read. I just won't be able to read chat. But welcome in, everybody. Again, my name is Andrew, and this is Rocket Future, covering the most exciting moments of human spaceflight and rocketry. And, of course, we're down here at Starbase, which is based in southern Texas in the Rio Grande Valley. And this is where SpaceX is building, designing, testing the Starship launch vehicle. It is the biggest launch vehicle, the biggest rocket of any rocket of all time. We've seen two of them launch, 2 full stacks launch so far. Third one we expect to be sometime in the next couple months. And this is the first step, getting Booster 10 down to the launch complex. So we're stoked about this. We're stoked to see Booster 10 start to make its way towards the road here, and we're ready for it. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Aiden C, T Evans NC. It's good to see you both here. We have some sheriffs about to pull out into the road. So this should be good, folks. This should be good. Let me... I'm going to adjust the camera as it gets closer. I'm going to start recording now. Make sure I got that going. All right, we're recording. Everything is good. Everything is good. Don't forget to tell your friends that we are live. If you think that your friends would be interested in seeing this, go ahead and send them a link to the channel. It's been a little bit since we've streamed. There really hasn't been much activity down here as far as rockets, rolling in and out. So, yeah. I'm filming. If it's okay, I'll be right behind it.
I know, but I don't want to. I don't want to take your spot.
Okay.
I just want to come
Sounds
through.
good. Yep.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a good day. All right, how's everybody look? How does everything look and sound? All right, from this point forward, I will not be looking at chat, so hopefully we got a good shot here for y'all. They're just waiting for traffic to come through, and then it's gonna roll. All right, here it goes. All right, I'm currently still in park, so I am just checking in, make sure everybody says everything looks good. Oh, Andres, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that very much. Nice to see this from a warm room while it's snowing. Oh, man. Yeah, it's nice and warm here. It's snowing where you are? All right, I'm coming out of park, no longer looking at chat. This should be a real fun stream, folks, so definitely send this around. Make sure people are tuning in. I think we will probably be the only person that is actually following behind Booster 10 in the convoy. So check it out. Should have plenty of daylight left for this whole roll, so this should be good. I just changed the stream from unlisted to public because it wasn't from public to unlisted and then back to public because for some reason it wasn't showing up on my phone. So I'm hoping that this is showing up to a public audience, but hopefully I didn't screw anything up by making that change. So, all right, here we go, guys. You can see some people on the right-hand side. We got Chief, we got Cosmical Chief. We got Stargazer. We got some NSF folks. Looking good, folks, looking good. Booster 10 is shiny. Now this is the next booster that's expected to be used on the next flight of Starship. We're hoping to see Booster 10 and Ship 28 take off from Starbase, hopefully sometime in the next couple months. Looks like they've done some good work on it. The chines are looking good. So if you can see those kind of fin-looking things on the base of the vehicle, those are the chines. Underneath those chines are some of the important pieces of important pieces of the vehicle. You have COPVs under there. You have all sorts of different things going on under there that they've kind of hidden behind those chines. We have a little bit further up, you see that kind of those silver lines. Those are stringers, and those are places to reinforce the vehicle. So those are actually where the two tanks meet. The liquid oxygen and the liquid methane tanks meet at that spot, and that's why they have those chines there to reinforce the vehicle in that area. And you go further up and you start to see some more chines at the top. Again, that's just to reinforce the vehicle. And then again, you get those grid fins, those 4 black grid fins. Those are aerodynamic surfaces for when the booster comes down to land. Because let's remember, this is a fully reusable rocket. It's supposed to be a fully reusable rocket, so that's what's actually going to help guide the vehicle back down to the landing zone, or being caught in the chopsticks, hopefully. So again, this is Booster 10 that we're looking at here. We are on Highway 4 heading east towards the beach. So this is a good showing of Booster 10 making its way down. I'm hoping everything's in focus. I'm using an autofocus because we're going to be at different distances behind the booster. Sometimes we'll be closer, sometimes we'll be further. I'm hoping it's going to keep the focus all right. I'm just not entirely sure. If you're watching the stream, let me know. Is the focus in? If it looks good next time that we stop, and I can put it into park, I'll take a look at the feedback to see if we need to make any adjustments. If you're just joining us, we are on Highway 4 heading towards the launch complex down here at Boca Chica, or at Starbase. And this is Booster 10 that we're looking at. This is the first stage of Starship. This is the largest rocket in the world, largest rocket to ever fly. And this is the first stage, that bottom portion. There's another portion that goes on top called Starship, which is the second stage. So what we're seeing right now is really only about 55, 60% of the height of the full rocket. So it's a big beast, and we're getting to see it roll down the highway right now. And if you're watching on X or on Facebook or on Twitch, I am not following that chat. So if you're commenting there, I'm not seeing that at the moment. I'm not seeing any chat regardless right now. But occasionally when we make stops, I can throw it in park and check in on like I'm gonna throw it in park here for a second and check on any comments that we got. Does look like our focus is just a little soft. I don't know if we can make any adjustments to that right now. I can try to reach up and see. Let's see. All right, I adjusted that a little bit. Let's see if that will hold. So it's looking good. It's looking good. So we're passing where a lot of the old temporary structures used to be that have been since been demolished in favor of the Star Factory, which is coming along really great. They're really blowing up this building. It's huge. It's crazy. At some point, we'll show you all those updates here at Starbase. There's been so much that has changed in the last couple months. We're definitely due for another Starbase facilities kind of update video. So I'm going to try to get you a video like that sometime in the relatively near future. Maybe when they wrap up some more of the outside of this Star Factory. A lot of people following along here on the road. At some point, I'd like to have somebody drive my Jeep behind. I want to have somebody drive my Jeep, and then I'll walk along the side of the Jeep and do a broadcast from alongside of the Jeep. I think that would be really cool. I just need to find somebody that'll drive the Jeep while we're doing these things. In just a little bit, we'll be passing the Flaps restaurant. It's kind of the next landmark that we'll be passing. But right now, we're still passing a lot of those temporary buildings that have been taken down, and also some of the tiny homes that they have set up here at the launch complex. The build site. If anybody's just joining, welcome in. Again, my name is Andrew, and this is Rocket Future. We're following Booster 10 down Highway 4 to the Starbase launch complex. An exciting moment. Again, this is the next vehicle we expect to be launching from down here with Starship S-28 on top. So it's really cool to see this this milestone of them getting it out of the build site back down to the launch complex for any final testing that they need to complete prior to launch day, which hopefully will be sometime in the next couple of months, if not sooner. all the way up at the top of the booster. You can kind of see there's a section that you can see through all the way at the top. Kind of looks like a crown on the booster. That is the hot staging ring. So that actually allows the stage that's above it to ignite its engines before it actually stages, before it decouples from the first stage. So that's actually to allow that exhaust from the rocket engines of the second stage, also known as Starship, to exhaust out of those holes during hot staging. This is a new piece of technology for Starship. It was used on the last launch. It was not used for the first launch. It's really cool to see them kind of developing this vehicle as they learn more about it during these testing campaigns and these launches. Very, very cool stuff. I believe what we're seeing on towards the bottom of the vehicle facing us, if anybody's in chat, feel free to correct me. Again, I won't be looking at chat, but feel free to correct me either way. Is that the booster quick disconnect section? Is that where the quick disconnect arm on the bottom will actually attach the umbilicals for fuel and for power and for telemetry, that type of stuff? I think that's what we're seeing towards the bottom of the vehicle. And then you see those raceways that go up the side of the vehicle, which will have any any wires or anything, any lines that are required for sensors and all of that good stuff. Really happy to see this thing roll out today. I was worried that we may see delays for this rollout, but so far so good. It's on the road, and we got plenty of just about enough daylight to see this through into its arrival at the launch complex. So that's good. I don't see the light on my mic, but I do see that it looks like it's still working, so hopefully y'all can still hear me. This could be the sign of things to come here at Starbase. Things might start to get happening pretty fast here. We generally see these periods of slowness, and it's only slow from the external perspective. You know, they're not doing static fires, they're not doing launches, they're not doing rollouts, but they're doing plenty of important work in the back end. Then we generally see everything all happen at once. So I think we're just about on the precipice of that moment where we start to see everything happen. We're going to see this rollout. We're going to see the rollout of the ship eventually. We're going to see maybe some final testing on these two vehicles. I'm not too sure. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see some additional static fires. I think there was some engines swapped out, but again, no way to know for sure until we see SpaceX schedule some additional windows. Which actually, now that I mention that, folks, if you didn't already hear, there are multiple days next week scheduled for potential road closures. So those are very likely for testing. So the first one, I believe, is on Monday. I have to double check. It's Monday or Tuesday of next week for some potential testing. That would be from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So yeah, we could see some spin primes. We could see some static fires. We could see some cryos. We could even potentially see a wet dress rehearsal at some point relatively soon. So keep an eye out. I will definitely be streaming those events. For sure. We, like I said, we haven't been doing a lot of streams lately because there haven't been a lot of tests and not a lot of rollouts, and because I've been working on some other things in the back end, and I had some time visiting family. But I'm glad to be back here at Starbase, about 60 yards, actually 50 yards from Booster 10, as it rides down Highway 4 towards the launch complex. This is actually awesome. Check out that bird hanging up near the grid fins. Really, really cool to see that. And really, really cool to see some people walking alongside here and enjoying themselves as they get this experience that is actually kind of nuts that we can even be here to see this right now and just follow this rocket down towards the launch complex. It's really insane. Very, very grateful for these opportunities here at Starbase. The SPMT looks like it's slowing down and stopping for a moment. I'm going to stop here so I'm not too close to it. I don't want this blue truck to get in front of me, though, so I just want to make sure that's not going to happen. There's a truck to my left that would, it's pretty big, and he's creeping forward. What I don't want to happen is him to get in front of us and for us to just end up with a bad view. So I'm just kind of creeping forward a little bit, even though it's going to cut off some of the booster. So the SPMT with booster 10 is stopped. Excuse me. We are at the intersection where Flaps is. So where that restaurant is on the left-hand side, right beside me. So we're just hanging out here. I do have the vehicle in park, so I am going to quickly check on chat here. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Space Girl Falcon, Detroit Mission Control. I see Tom in here. Welcome, Tom Greenery. Or Greeny. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. The SPMT currently is stopped right past the intersection where Flaps is at. Looks like the mic is still working, so that's good. And so right now we're in focus. I don't know if we've been in focus the whole ride or not, but it looks okay right now. Pretty sure sunset is going to kick into place here. Oh, I just hit my computer. Are we still good? Yeah, we're still good. Yeah, sunset's going to kick into place here pretty soon, but as long as it starts rolling again, it shouldn't be a factor. We might even get a nice sunset with the rest of the roll. But if it does pause here for any considerable amount of time, we're going to start to lose light and maybe won't have the greatest views of it actually arriving into the launch complex, but that's okay. Again, this is riding on a SPMT, also known as a self-propelled modular transporter. All right, we're rolling again. This is a vehicle with dozens and dozens of wheels that helps deliver this payload down to the launch complex. It's actually pretty crazy that they can drive this thing down the road with this type of vehicle. Really cool. Seems like a lot easier than using something like the crawler transporter and stuff that they got at NASA. A lot less overhead. Very, very cool. We got some more Starbase folks, more of the Starbase community here. Oh, I'm so glad I sneaked in front of that truck with the blue, because he did want to get in line to follow the booster down. 'Cause that would have been bad. I'm glad I made that decision to kind of sneak up past it. He would have been blocking our view pretty good. And here we are. We are continuing our journey here to the launch complex. We're past halfway at this point. We're making really good progress here. It's a quick rollout so far, other than a couple quick stops. I'm trying to stay just far enough behind that we get the whole thing in view, but not so far behind that people are tempted to pass me. Really cool view underneath the vehicle right now. I'll try to kind of sneak into the middle here for a second. So you can kind of see under the vehicle. It's very, very cool. Beautiful, beautiful sight. It's so cool looking underneath it, actually. I can see the SPMT driver. Oh, I thought that was a bird, but it's just some cardboard or something. I can see the SPMT driver ahead of the vehicle, just walking and steering it. So yeah, somebody actually uses a remote and walks in front of the vehicle and controls this thing via remote. So there's nothing attached. It's wireless controlled. It's really, really impressive, and they are some skilled drivers. I've seen them work through some really, really tight spots, and I couldn't be any more impressed by these drivers here. They got some skill. I think I do have this stream in subscriber-only chat right now. So if you can't type, that is why. But don't fret; it doesn't cost any money, nothing like that. You literally just have to hit subscribe, and then you can chat on the chat on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. That's just to keep kind of spam out of the chat. Like I said, you don't have to become a member or anything like that. You don't have to pay any money. You don't need a credit card, nothing like that. You just hit the subscribe button, and all that does is it notifies you if you choose to be notified when I go live. And it allows you to type in our chat here. This is a sight to see, folks. This never gets old. It really never gets old. So cool. Don't forget to share this with friends and family if you think they'd be interested. Again, these are the vehicles that are going to bring us back to the moon and eventually bring us to Mars. Not only that, but they're going to be used for very important missions. They're going to be launching weather satellites for all sorts of different organizations, government as well, help track our weather, help us predict hurricanes and the strength of hurricanes, all that type of stuff. There's going to be all sorts of payloads that happen on Starship. It's not just going to be crew. It's going to be used for some really, really important things that really help us down here on Earth. And it's going to make it cheaper to deploy those types of satellites into orbit. Again, this is not just for the rich. This is something that will impact us all here on Earth. If this vehicle turns into what SpaceX has planned for it, if it really does work the way they want it to, again, this may impact all of our lives here on Earth, and not just the rich people that might be able to ride on this thing. And the payload capacity of this thing's so big, and if they launch this as frequently as they plan to, that's actually going to bring the cost down a lot. So if people do want to go to space, there are going to be some more opportunities in the future for some people to ride on this thing, even if they don't have millions and millions of dollars. So that's the plan. I hope we see that come to fruition. This could be a huge game changer for our lives and our species and the future of humanity. So you should. I consider myself grateful to be able to witness this, and I think you should too. Again, we're literally watching SpaceX drive the rocket they just built. This has been built for a bit, and they've done testing on this, but really, they just are driving this from the build site to the launch site, and we're just about 60, 70 yards away from it, and we get to see it past this milestone. Big shout out to the security and everybody that is working this event to make sure that the public is safe while this happens. They got an intermittent road delay published, which means that anybody who's on this road publicly, they may just have to stay in a little bit of traffic behind this rocket as we are now. They do a good job to make sure everybody stays safe during this. Now, there's a chance the booster may not only arrive to the launch complex tonight, but it also may get lifted onto the OLM tonight. Excuse me. We don't know if that's going to happen for sure. We'll see how we're feeling when we get down there to the launch complex about whether or not we will, stick around to see if it gets lifted. It would take them a bit to kind of get it into place to be lifted. So we'll see, but we'll we'll definitely stick around at the launch complex for a little bit. I'll show you the new signage, the new SpaceX sign, and the new Gateway to Mars sign. I'll take some photos of those things, and we'll hang out for a little bit, and then we'll make a decision a little bit later about whether or not we're going to hang down here for a while to see this thing potentially get lifted or not. But I think the milestone of seeing this get rolled out is great. So we're happy that we're able to do that today. Ship 28 shouldn't be too far behind it. I'm going to keep my eyes out for any more intermittent road delays over the course of the next few days and weeks to see if we might get another opportunity to see, this time, an upper stage, also known as Starship, get rolled down to the launch complex, and eventually that will be mated on top of this vehicle that we're looking at now, and we'll see a wet dress rehearsal where they will load the vehicles full of their fuels that are required for launch to make sure that everything is looking good, and kind of probably do a mock countdown to make sure all their procedures are looking good as well, and that they don't run into any issues with ground support equipment. And that's one of the final things that we'll see before we start hearing about launch attempt dates. So we could see those as early as this month. So fingers are crossed. We could be just a couple weeks away from a launch. It might take a little bit longer, but it could happen sooner. We'll just have to wait and see. At this point, there's quite a few amount of vehicles behind me. A lot of people driving behind me, waiting for this thing to happen. Where's this blue truck going? Looks like he's turning around. Some people that SpaceX employees kind of driving around it. Looks like. So I don't have to be stuck in this traffic. But I hope y'all are enjoying this. Again, I'm not looking at chat, but hopefully everything is working good. Hopefully everything is looking all right, and you can see everything. And I hope you're enjoying this, because it's quite the experience. This is a SpaceX vehicle that just pulled in front of me. Looks like we're holding tight here for a minute. I'm actually surprised at how close we were. A lot of times they'll stop and hold us back like this for a bit before we start rolling again, just to make sure. Again, they want to keep everybody safe, so they just want to make sure that people are a safe distance away from this thing. So let's see it get a little bit further up before we continue moving forward. I'm recording this all on my 4K camera as well. So I'm gonna be able to stabilize this shot, this whole rollout. I'll do a stabilized shot of this thing. It should be really cool, I think. So I'll work on that tonight and tomorrow, and hopefully get that published in the next 24 hours or so. That'll look really cool. Thought it was getting a little chilly, but I realized my AC was on. I don't know why that's on. I definitely don't need it. Actually, it is kind of muggy, but I definitely don't need it cranking like I had it. All right, we're rolling again. Oops, I just hit my computer again with my elbow, but I think we're okay. Looks like we have a decent amount of dropped frames today, so the video might be coming in kind of choppy. But like I said, we're recording this as well in 4K, so we should have a good video afterwards. Oh, I see some mosquitoes. Which is less than ideal, because I got my roof open right now. This is a solid evening for this. This is it's nice, and I'm really glad they got this done before the sunset, because I really enjoy doing these convoy streams where we're hanging out and rolling behind the vehicle as it's rolling out to the launch complex. But they've been doing a lot of night rollouts, and you can't really do the convoy streams with the night rollouts, because the flashing lights that all these vehicles use always blow out the exposure and everything. It's really hard to get a good video during a night rollout. So usually for those, I usually go hang out at the entrance of the launch complex and get a video of the vehicle arriving into the launch complex. But it's we haven't done one of these in a while, so this is good. This is really good. It's a good evening for it. It's nice out. I don't have any complaints. Other than bandwidth. I don't know why our bandwidth isn't great today. As you can see, there's some people walking the whole length of Highway 4, which is really cool. It's about a 2-mile trip. So if you have to walk down and then you have to walk back, that's about 4 miles. So it's a good walk for sure. I'd actually like to do that. Like I said, I haven't done that yet. I definitely would like to do that. You can see on the right-hand side of the highway there is some water built up in the area that, usually when we have a decent amount of rainfall, we start to see water build up on the sides of the roads in these divots. And it looks pretty full right now, actually. I've definitely seen it more full, but we got a lot of rain this year compared to last. There was a period this year where I was just like, is it ever going to stop raining? Which, again, I'm not complaining about, because the year prior, I felt like it never rained at all. And I think we need it down here. I think we need the rain. But if you're just joining us, B10, Booster 10, which is the first stage of Starship, the next Starship that we expect to launch out of here at Starbase in Texas. It is probably about 3/4 of the way through its trip from the build site where it was built and updated and checked since the last testing, and is now on its way to the launch site. I'd say we're probably about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of a mile away at this point. It's got some good distance on us at this point, though, so I'd say it's probably like half mile away. Freaking mosquito got in here. So it's almost at the gateway to Mars sign. It's still got a little ways before it gets there, but that's the next major milestone. You know, the next major what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just sitting here racking my brain for this word that I'm trying to think of. You know, a mark that you call out on a trip. You know, take a left at this place. What would you call that place? It is not a milestone, but I don't know. It'll come to me eventually. But almost at the gateway to Mars sign. Well on our way to the launch complex at this point. Making a lot of progress. We're speeding up a little bit here, so if I lose signal, it's just because I'm going too fast for Starlink to stay connected, but it'll reconnect. The rest of the Jeep roof just flew open. I had it like half open, but it just was like, we'll fully open it, which works for me. Other than the mosquitoes. Yeah, Booster 10 is looking good. The tank farm's looking good too. I haven't seen it with the with all those reinforcement beams on it. You probably can just barely make that out on the right side of the screen there. We got the vertical tank farm still there, and we got some new beams kind of supporting the tanks. So that looks interesting. I saw most of the horizontal tanks that they installed before I left last. But I haven't seen all of them installed. So I am excited to see all of those horizontal tanks they've installed here at Starbase. So we should get some views of those tonight as well. I've seen the Gateway to Mars sign, but I have not seen the SpaceX sign yet. In person. I can just barely make it out now. It's a funny angle the way we're coming from it right now, though. It is getting a tiny bit chilly. I did bring a sweatshirt if I need to put that on. I'll probably throw it on when we get out of the car here. So yeah, when we get up to the builds or the launch site, I'll pull in, find a place to park, and then I'll adjust the camera so you can see B10 start to make its way over toward. They'll probably try to get it right over between those chopsticks pretty quickly. Excuse me. Yeah. And then we'll make a decision about whether or not we hang out to see if it gets lifted tonight or not. Wouldn't be surprised if it does, based on the fact that they removed some of the scaffolding from the OLM today. But at the same time, I don't know if we can stay out all night. I am on call tonight for work, so I have to. I have all my work stuff with me, but I don't want to be stuck out here if I get called for some big issue at work. So you probably have a good view of that gateway to Mars sign now. That's relatively new. It's on the right hand side of the screen there. It looks really good. You can't tell in person, but that wall. You can't tell on a screen, but in person you can tell that wall is curved, and it actually looks so dang nice. It looks so nice in real life. I'm really excited for them to kind of finish a lot of these pieces of work that's going to make this look a little bit more official down here. Some of them is kind of pros and cons. Some of the walls that they're putting up kind of takes away from some of the views that we can have, but nothing completely debilitating so far. So it's starting to look like a professional launch site down here, which is really cool. There's so much traffic behind me. It's pretty funny. I've gotten lucky so far with all these rollouts that I've driven behind. I'm usually one of the first, if not the first vehicle behind the SpaceX vehicles. I think honestly all the time I'm usually the first vehicle, if not, maybe there's been a time where I've been back one or two, which wouldn't be a problem. I'm just afraid of any large vehicles getting in front of me and then blocking our view. So we'll see what happens here. It looks like they're going to be stopped here for a while it enters into the facility. We hopefully won't get it kind of cut off the side of the screen. What I'm going to try to do is adjust to face a little bit further right, just so we get a little bit more of an angle there. That should be enough. Look at that. That's sick. If you hear some banging around, that's because I'm trying to kill some mosquitoes that's in here. Some pretty loud venting coming from the launch site right now, actually. Alright, I'm in park, checking in on chat. We still have Detroit hanging out with us. We still have T. Evans NC hanging out with us. So I said El Hungaro. Good to see everybody. Space Girl Falcon is here, Andras. Good to see everybody. Good to see. The word you're thinking of is waypoint. Ooh, waypoint's a good one. Actually, though, there's another word that I was trying to think of. And I still can't think of it. not milestone, not mile marker. That's gonna bug me. But yeah, it's close to waypoint, but it's not waypoint. Cooking cast iron skillet, cornbread. Ooh, nice. That sounds awesome. Again, we're just hanging out here. I'm in park. They usually keep us behind here a little bit before they enter the launch complex. Give the booster plenty of room while they make the maneuvers that they need to make to get it in that site. Road markers? Is that what I'm thinking of? No, not road markers. Connected to it earlier. If you haven't seen, we are planning on doing an awards ceremony down here on April 20th called the Gateway Community Awards. Obviously, that's a play on words because we are at the Gateway to Mars. I'm starting to hear the SPMT start up, so it is rolling again. But yeah, the Gateway Community Awards, and it's all about the creators and the artists and the streamers and all of us down here that dedicate a big piece of our life to documenting Starship and everything that happens with Starship development, testing, and launch. So I just yesterday announced the categories. So take a look on our X, our Twitter, to see what those categories are. And then on the 14th, I believe, the 14th is when the nominations are going to open. So I want you to get on there and nominate all your favorite channels and all your favorite artists and stuff for the award that you think that they most align with. Where is this guy going? Come on. Okay, hopefully he's just turning around. I don't know what he's doing. Some people just don't seem to know what they're doing. All right, let's take a look at that new SpaceX sign on the right-hand side of the screen now. Once I get into a parking space, it's going to be kind of a mad rush to figure out where to park and get the camera settled and all that stuff. So hold tight when we get to that point. That's a cool shot right there, folks. Look at that. This has been a cool rollout. This is really good. Sorry, I haven't been talking. I've just been paying attention to all the security and everything, just making sure that I'm staying where I need to be and not getting in anybody's way. think we're going to try to pull in right up here. And then we're going to adjust the camera for you, folks.
Turn around and get your face in it. I'll tag, I'll post it.
Sure, I appreciate that.
Later on, I want to chat with you about your awards thing.
Cool, yeah.
I want to pitch in and help you out a little bit.
Cool, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Any help? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know what I'll be able to do or what. I want to share something. Awesome. Oh, there's so many mosquitoes in the Jeep now. Oh my goodness. I need to put a sweatshirt on right now. I'm going to get the camera. I should probably go park somewhere better, I think. But as you can see, B10 has arrived to the launch complex. I'm just trying to figure out what our best plan is here. The traffic is going to be nuts here for a second as everybody just gets by. But we might try to go over near the dunes and set up there. Yeah, so hold tight just for a few here, folks, with this. I know we have not the greatest view. Actually, I'm going to start making some moves. Hold on.
I know you can't see anything. Just give me a minute here, folks. We're going to get in a better spot here for you. All right, let's try to get a little further up here. Oh, let's turn around. All right, we now speed 10 coming from behind the tank farm and making its way over to the OLM. Let me adjust some more things here. I'll tell you, this wireless mic is perfect. It's golden. Oh, there's too many mosquitoes out here, folks. I already can tell you right now that we cannot stay out here very long. Last time I was out here with this many mosquitoes, I regret it for a week. So we're going to see Booster 10 make its way over to under the chopsticks, which are currently rising up. Folks, look at those chopsticks. They are currently rising up to accept Booster 10 underneath it. But, yeah, then we might have to roll after that. Come on. It's really bad out here. There you go. That should be a little bit better of a view for you. No, this is great. I can just walk around with the mic now everywhere. This is awesome. We got a wireless mic now, folks. Oh my goodness, all these mosquitoes in the Jeep. This is bad. That was an awesome rollout. I hope you all enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I just got my Jeep detailed yesterday too, so I don't have any of my mosquito repellent in the Jeep. I haven't put everything back in yet. The only thing I put in here was everything that I needed to stream, and then I was in a rush to get here, so it is what it is. I'm happy with what we've captured here today, even if we have to bail out of here before the lift. You know what? I could start to move the camera outside of the Jeep, and then I could sit in the Jeep and then try to get rid of the mosquitoes that are in the Jeep to try to help extend our time down here tonight. The only thing is, I don't know if I have anything to undo the zip tie that's currently holding the tripod up, which actually could be a problem. This is what happens when you have to rush out the door. I'm gonna have to find something to cut that. Might have to use a key or something. Let me start working at this. I have a zip tie that's currently holding the tripod that the camera's on up against a solid piece of the frame, and I'm gonna have to get that off of there. Not just to try to move the camera outside the Jeep, but also just when I need to leave and when I need to put the top back down on the Jeep. I'm gonna need that disconnected. So I'm gonna put the mic down for a couple minutes while I work on this. So I'll just leave you with some ambient audio from Starbase here. So just give me a few minutes to kind of poke around and see if I can get the zip tie undone. The camera's gonna shake a bit too. Yeah, it's really tight on there. I don't know. I'm gonna need some sort of scissors or something, but we'll see. I've gotta find a way to disconnect this thing. I don't think I could actually drive back if it's stuck like this. I'm sure I'll get it though. I just gotta keep working at it with this key that I got.
Whew, this is frustrating. Again, if you don't know what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to disconnect the zip tie that I have my tripod hooked up to the Jeep with, just so it didn't rattle out of place when we were doing the rollout. But now it's stuck, and that's not great. I don't have any scissors or anything to cut the zip tie. Usually I keep razor and scissors in the Jeep, but since I got it detailed yesterday, those things were taken out of the Jeep and not put back in. And I actually need to disconnect this in order to put the Jeep top back down to actually even drive back. I can't really drive on the highway with the top down like this. I mean, I could, but it would not be fun. So I'm just trying to work at it with a key. That's why the camera's probably jumping all over the place. I'm trying to saw through a freaking zip tie with a key, and the tripod is attached. So I'm going to keep working on it. Give me a minute. Making progress. Yeah, there it goes. We got it. Disconnect the camera for a second, then we're going to be back up in a second. All right, good news. We solved that. How's it going, everybody? Welcome. I'm not going to set the second camera up right now, but I thank you for joining us here so far today. I'm not done yet. I actually haven't even checked to see if this mic is still working. So let me just do a quick thing, and I'll go check to make sure it's still working. But if you can hear me, my name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future. We're down here at Starbase. And we just had a beautiful rollout of Booster 10 from the build site to the launch complex. I have this fancy new mic. Let me check the levels to make sure y'all can hear me before I start yapping away too long here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're good. So this is great. This allows me to keep the mic with me at all times, keep the commentary going, and not have to deal with more wires. I'm very happy with this edition. So thank you to all of our members of the channel. Your contributions help us to get better equipment like this to give you better stream experience. I haven't listened back to the stream, so I don't know how it sounds. Hopefully it sounds pretty good. But we're also looking at one of our other cameras. So usually I do the 2 camera setup where we have one zoomed in on the kind of point of interest that's happening, and then we have a wider angle, and that's usually where I'll do my commentary like this, even though we're only using one camera today. And I usually just use like a webcam basically for that second camera, but there's some stuff that's finicky with it, and I don't want to be dealing with finicky equipment and then having that cause me to delay getting set up and having problems with that. Sorry, I'm just gonna look up my back tire here. Looks like it's kind of bulging a little bit, but hopefully that's just because it's the way I'm sitting on the sand. I'm gonna have to drive on a level surface to make sure that's not a problem. Let me look at the rest of my tires. That doesn't look great. I'm gonna have to drive on a level surface before I leave here to make sure my tire looks funny. Why my tire looks funny? I gotta be really careful with that. Alright. I'm concerned that it might be... Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about my tire. I'll check it out later and we'll see if it looks okay. I don't want it to blow out on my way home. So I'll check it out and see how that looks. It's really weird. The bottom part looks more bulged out than usual, but it might just be the way it's now. So I don't know. Anyway, let's get back on topic here. As you can see, to the launch complex, it's kind of hanging out there. We saw the chopsticks lift up and actually open up a bit. So I think we'll see Booster 10 start to go underneath the chopstick and be nestled between them. Whether or not they lift it tonight, they might, based on the fact that they removed some of the scaffolding today. But whether or not we stick around for it or not, remains to be seen. So let's just hang tight for a little bit. Other pictures around here of things that have changed. I'm out of breath because we've just been going since I pulled into the launch complex here. Moved around a couple times and had to saw off a zip tie from my Jeep. I almost want to move the Jeep right now, just so I can see what's up with this tire, but it's all right. I'll hold tight for now. I'd have to move the camera and everything again. In my hand. So when I go to my own channel on YouTube and go to live, I still don't see that today's stream is on there. I'm really hoping that YouTube didn't screw me over today with actually setting the video to live. I know that some of you were here, but most of you were just channel members and people who would have gotten notifications in other ways. Let me search Rocket Future. Okay, that's showing it. All right, I have chat now. Stephanie B is here. Detroit Mission Control is here. T. Evans NC is here. Aiden C is here. Let's see what we see. Chopsticks are going up, says T. Evans NC. Thomas says, appreciate all your efforts for sure. It's my pleasure. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad you're here too. For anyone who likes to see my cooking, I post most of it on the Rocket Future Discord, says Detroit Mission Control. Very true. Detroit does some amazing, amazing cooking, and his meals look amazing. Definitely check that out and converse if you also like cooking. T. Evans NC confirms Detroit's food looks good. T. Evans also says live link showed here. Okay, so it's probably good. I think it might just be a glitch on my end. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. That was a fun rollout, and I'm glad to be back down here, and I'm glad to be doing some streams down here at Starbase again. So, activity is picking up. That means the streams are going to be picking up as well. As you know, we don't generally speaking go live unless there's something to go live for. So it's not like we're down here every other day, shooting just live
happening. We like to do that sometimes, but generally speaking, when we go live, we want it to be an event that that's going to be interesting, like a rollout or a test stream and stuff. But I am getting a little bit of homesickness from Starbase. So I think that they're going to ramp up with everything here. I think we're going to see Starship S-28 get down here pretty quickly. I think we're going to see some testing this week, and I think that that's going to allow me to come down here and be doing streams down here for a lot over the next few weeks, which is great. But for any reason, if things slow down again, I think I might start to do some more general streams down here. Maybe like at least one a week or something, just to keep the channel going and to keep me coming down here to Starbase because I love it down here. So we'll see what happens, but in the meantime, just keep up to date with everything that's happening down here. Like I said, Starship S-28, when that rolls out, we should be here as long as there's no conflicts. Any other testing that's happening next week, we should be down at Isla Park with live views of Starbase of whatever the testing that might happen, as long as we get good views from Isla Park. Sometimes this time of the year, there's quite a haze layer between the park and Starbase, so we'll just keep an eye on that as well. So yeah, a lot of excitement happening. We may see this rocket that we just saw get shipped down from the build site over on Highway 4. Might see this thing launch sometime in the next month or so, which would be awesome. It would be really good to see. I'm really, really excited for IFT3, and I think they're going to really nail it out of the park this time. I think they really will. What else was I going to mention? The Gateway Community Awards. Keep up with that on Twitter, X. There's so many amazing folks down here that are dedicating so much of their life to what's happening here at Starbase and Starship, and I want to make sure those people are acknowledged and know that they are appreciated. So we're going to put on a little event for them to make sure that they do feel the love from the community. So when nominations open and everything, make sure you tune in and nominate your favorite channels and your favorite artists for whatever category you think they fit in most. Whew. I think that's really all I had on the top of my head. All of the things that I wanted to discuss with y'all. So it's 8:07 or 6:07 now. Booster hasn't moved in the last few minutes. We're gonna hang out here probably until 6:15, and then we might wrap things up. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to drop those in the chat. I am keeping an eye on chat. It's in my pocket. Anything specific that you want to see. I'm going to take some pictures of the new signage and stuff when it gets here a little darker right here. I'll post those on my X later, and maybe Instagram as well. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for coming to hang out for this rollout. This was a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm glad the activity's kicking back up here at Starbase. I'm ready for it. The channel this year. You guys know about the community awards, but I have some other things up my sleeve as well for this year. And I hope you you can get excited with me about some of these things that I'm going to try to do. I also mentioned on X that we are planning on doing some more behind-the-scenes type streams while I'm just kind of sitting at my computer and working on the channel. It'll be interesting stuff that I think would be interesting for you. It's not going to be on, that's not going to be a public stream that people get notifications for and everything. We're going to keep that to just basically Discord notifications. We'll do an unlisted stream and post it to our Discord for anyone that's interested in those behind the scenes type stuff. Booster 10. Line right up with that's there. See if it looks like it's moving at all. I haven't seen it move yet since it stopped, but we're going to keep our eyes on that and potentially head out of here in a little bit. So let me bring you back in to a closer shot. I shouldn't stop recording this as well. I got a nice recording to edit down over the next day or so of that rollout. It really should be cool. I'll stabilize the footage and everything. I know I'm talking a mile a minute, but these events get the blood flowing. Boca Chica Beach is looking mighty active. Some big, powerful waves. Doesn't look like there's much of a beach. They're coming
really high up on the beach. Definitely high tide plus kind of aggressive conditions. Good stuff, folks. Looks like there's some scaffolding all around the ship quick disconnect, which is above those chopsticks. Whoa. I keep getting bid out here. What time is it right now? Let's see, it is 6:11. What time is sunset? Sunset is 6:17, which means there's a half hour, 50 minutes dark out. I wanted to try to get some of those pictures of the new signage. So I don't know if I should do that now, or should we take it a little darker? I do want a nice backdrop to the signs, though, so maybe I should wrap things up. Go grab those shots. Yeah, looking at that tank that I'm trying to align B10 with, it hasn't moved yet. I think we call it. So like I said, there's a good chance that might lift this thing tonight. I think we're going to miss that probably. If it's at all visible from our remote camera that we can see, thanks to Starbase, maybe we can put that back up on a stream later. But well, I don't know when they're going to do it. And there's some stuff I really would like to get done while I'm down here. So let's do that. So thanks everybody for joining. I really appreciate you. My name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the super chats today. Thanks for just the chatting in the chat in general, and just thanks for being here and part of the Rocket Future community. More streams coming up. We're gonna try to do streams for all the upcoming testing, and obviously for launch. And we're gonna try to get down here in Starbase and do some regular streams. If we have any more of these big lags between major events, we'll try to cover some of those gaps, because I like to be down here at Starbase. So, good stuff. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you very much. Detroit Mission Control says, stay frosty, everybody. So let's, I'm going to throw it to the outro screen. I'm going to shut down the Twitter and the X and the Facebook and the Twitch and all that stuff, and then I'll shut down the YouTube just a few minutes later. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. My name is Andrew, and peace out.